Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement as we calm through the storm and this massive sell-off that's going on inside the crypto markets. A lot of people are worried. I see a lot of people freaking out on Twitter, and so overall, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of encouragement, drop some analysis for you guys that's going to help you guys to navigate through all of this mess, understand that there's really no reason to be worrying at all, and why you guys should really not be panicking over this. It's something that we've seen often in the crypto markets. The only reason that we're worrying is because we haven't seen it in a long time. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 20,000 members and growing. Links are provided for you in the description if you guys do want to sign up for that. On top of that, if you're a new guy just getting into these markets, I do have a free ebook linked in the description to download. It's going to be full of a lot of great information to teach you guys some of the ins and outs to investing the right way. So go ahead, check all of that out. Links are provided for you in the description. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Hello everybody and welcome once again for today's video. I want to talk to you guys and just give you guys a little bit of a market update, talk about Bitcoin, talk about Ethereum, and give you guys some perspective really on just explaining where I think the prices are headed, how we're going to see things shake up from here, because overall we're having one of the biggest sell-offs the cryptocurrency market has ever seen. We're seeing a lot of people inside the market getting really scared. I've seen it on Twitter. You know, I've seen some major fear out there because overall, guys, this is the first sell-off we've even seen, you know, pretty much since March of 2020. That was the last sell-off that we saw. You know, we did have these little corrections in between here. We saw some stuff in between, but this is our first major sell-off in this entire move up. And so a lot of people just recently got in the market. A lot of people haven't seen any type of sell-off. You know, a lot of people watching this channel, I'm sure, just recently started investing throughout this period of time. And so I think it's a big shock to most people what's going on. And what we can say for sure this cycle is that this cycle has been way more volatile than any other one. You know, there's more money in it, there's bigger players, there's smarter players, and you're trading against a lot of big money that can really make the market move in a lot of directions. And as you guys can see, you know, from this high, we're seeing a pretty big correction. Now, many of you guys might be wondering what this black chart is up here, and that's really what I wanted to cover real quickly to start off this video. Now, we're going to come down here and hide the volume, and we're going to just talk about some things that I really see forming in the Bitcoin chart that reminds me a lot of what we saw in the last cycle. So what you guys are going to see here in this black chart is actually some consolidation that we saw in the last cycle from Bitcoin. So if we come back down here, even though you don't see the all-time high, what I wanted to share with you guys was this move here. So when we went from about 950 bucks all the way up to about 3 grand, this was our first breakout beyond the all-time high in Bitcoin's last cycle. This was our first expansion in a price discovery. Now, after we got that expansion, we did get a sell-off, right? And it was this sell-off here in which I've highlighted. So what we have from the chart is this period of time right here, and it was actually following the same time frame. So, you know, Bitcoin topped here at about June of 2017, and so I've taken that chart and I've overlaid it onto what we see here. Now, even though we topped out about June of 2017 here, we topped out a little bit early in this cycle for Bitcoin. And so what we can see here, guys, is pretty much the exact same type of price action. It's pretty much the same chart. It's very, very similar as far as the way it's moving. We can see the same type of price action. What we saw here was just this short-term top formation. A lot of people were expecting it to go higher, and then we ended up getting this sharp capitulation on the downside. And it caught a lot of people off guard. A lot of people panic sold thinking that the bear market was already going to start. A lot of people got really worried in that time frame. But honestly, guys, I think it's going to end up behaving pretty much the same way. This looks a lot like what we even saw back in March in 2017 with that sell-off. And if I come down here, you guys are going to remember that we just got this nasty sell-off wick, right? And it's not even a wick, it's just a big candle body. This is a daily time frame. We get this massive sell-off, right? Now, in this second candle, notice how we did for a little while, go all the way back down to about 3,800. At this period of time, we were about 4,800 to 5K, but we ended up swinging all the way down to about $3,800. And notice in this period of time, we had a lot of volatility inside of this consolidation, and it was at a very low point in the cycle where everybody, for the most part, most of retail, I remember at this period, most people were freaking out, expecting downside. Even a lot of really good traders, I saw people expecting that they were going to fall to new lows, and it was a crazy time. Now, we went and had a lot of chop throughout this period of time, and ultimately we made a V bottom and went on to the upside. And so when I look at the chart that we're seeing right now, you know, I think about the same type of price action. Notice this big V bottom, this price action where we get a lot of buyers stepping in. And the reason why is because if you guys have noticed, a lot of the major news has been breaking out. And whenever you see major news correlating with price, it's always before a major move in the altcoins. I'm telling you, it's always because we're seeing a lot of FUD, right? So what we saw thus far is we've seen Tesla come out, announce that they're starting to sell. On top of that, we've had a lot of bearish news regarding China coming out here. China's banned different things regarding retail investors. We've already seen news coming out that's already starting to contradict what they've said. And so these are little things that happen. You know, we'll have these little FUD events, these little things that'll pop up. You know, it should have been an early indicator when Dogecoin was pumping super hard, when Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live, when all of these meme coins regarding Doge were popping off. It should have been a very big indicator. For some reason, most people missed it. I, myself included, even though I remember like analyzing it and thinking to myself, man, this is very much euphoric. But for some reason, I felt like, you know, it's going to go higher. And then that was obviously complacency before we had the sell-off. And so I don't necessarily think we have to have too much more downside. You know, we've pretty much retested the major level that I would expect that we would hit and wouldn't go lower. This type of wicking, you know, usually that's what we see at the bottom of a capitulation inside of a trend. And if I had the drying tools, you know, even though we are getting more downside in here, this is the same type of stuff that we saw back in March of 2020. During all of that panic that we saw last year, we saw that sell-off, but we even saw wicks that came back down in upswings, and then we ended up going up much higher after that. And so I don't think we should necessarily worry, guys. The short term is going to be major volatility. And so unless you're buying, there's no reason to think about selling. I mean, unless you sold up here, there's no point selling right now, because the reason you'd be selling now is because you're scared. You think the bear market's going to happen. You know, you heard some news out there that said something and so, oh, there's another low happening because this whale said this on Twitter. You know, whatever the dumb FUD might be, whether it's mainstream news, whether it's, you know, your favorite trader, just ignore that type of stuff, because unless you sold at the highs, you're definitely just going to look like an idiot selling at this point in the trend. So that's just my thoughts and perspective with Bitcoin. I wanted to give you guys a quick update. I just think it's the same type of price action that we've seen in years past, and this is going to result into a much bigger move on the upside. Now, keep in mind, guys, what happened after Bitcoin's move? We had a correction all the way back down to the previous high. And then we ended up going all the way up for our final blow off top. And so really, guys, we could be seeing the same type of price action throughout this move. And this is what's going to take Bitcoin upwards of, you know, 250, maybe even upwards of 500K. Who knows? Certain institutions think that could be them just giving false expectations for retail investors so that they have liquidity to sell into. I have no idea. But regardless, guys, we still have a lot of bullish price action to go. So I wanted to share with you guys Ethereum real quick, and let's talk about some things here. Let's talk about some really bearish alternatives, because I think a lot of people are going to, you know, a lot of people are always expecting the biggest upside alternative. They always think up, 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 up only. And that's just kind of the way that most people, you know, go about investing into a market. But what I wanted to share with you guys is just some potentials inside of the structure that if we do end up going lower, what would that look like? So in ETH, I want to talk about this. So in ETH, what it looks like to me is that if we're going based off of our Elliott waves, what I think it would be playing out for a bearish alternative is this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'd be getting ready for wave 5. Now, wave 5 in Ethereum would look something like this. We'd get one more push to the downside, one more massive sell-off. Honestly, if this sell-off originally didn't shake everybody out all the weekends, this next one will, because honestly, it's going to shake out a lot of people. I don't think too many people are prepared for this type of volatility. You know, if we got to move all the way back down, geez, that would be almost back down to about that would be like $173 billion in market cap for ETH, but that would put us pretty close to those all-time highs on this pair. Now, guys, do I think that this is impossible? No, not by any means at all. And actually, when we actually do take a time to look at this bearish alternative, I 100% can actually see this playing out to some degree. It's not unrealistic in my head. And when you really take the time to analyze the chart, you know, the Elliott waves plan out pretty nicely. I mean, we do technically have 5 impulses here inside of this inside of this 3 wave. And now if this does want to go for one more low, which based off of the chart, it does look rather weak as we stand right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we pull a COVID where we just kind of sweep the lows and then go back up. I don't know how it's going to look, guys. I just wanted to give you guys the potential that if we do go for one more low, what that is going to ultimately look like. And I don't think that if we do get that, you guys should be worried about it either way. Yes, you're going to lose a lot of unrealized gains, a lot of price that you looked at your portfolio that it was sitting at when the market was at its highs over here. It's going to be down a lot from that. In fact, it could be down 50, 60, maybe even more than that in percentage-wise. But you guys got to understand that this is very much the same type of thing that we saw back here during March. I remember sitting here and waking up and losing 60% of my portfolio overnight. And at the time, I didn't have nearly as much money as I had now. And honestly, me having as much money as I have now, I have way more money than I had back here. And because we're seeing such a big swing, I'm losing way, way, way more money overall. I mean, when you're looking at the percentages, it's pretty much the same. But when you're looking at the actual dollar value, it's a way bigger amount. But this time around, I'm much more calm. I'm much more relaxed because this is the type of thing that we always see. We always see the market flip on the upside. Every time we've got a massive sell-off, every single time we've got a massive panic, it always results in more upside. And so if we are not finished here and we do get one more low, just guys, understand that that will be truly one of the best buying opportunities that you will ever see. In my opinion, the best buying opportunity and the last good buying opportunity that we'll see as we go into price discovery. Because what we see in the charts, from just a strictly technical perspective, from a non-emotional perspective, just don't even worry about any type of portfolio growth or loss right now, and just realize that what we've seen inside of the market since our last sell-off was nothing but non-stop upward growth. Now that we're starting to see a sell-off, we look at the big picture trend, right? We know that this was the previous all-time high of that last cycle. We know that we've broken past that all-time high. And this sell-off, although pretty volatile and pretty crazy to a lot of people, is still above the all-time highs. We're still in price discovery right now. And so there is literally no reason to be worrying about anything that's taking place inside the market, because no matter what way you try and shake it, no matter how scary it looks, no matter how much your portfolio seems to be down based off of, once again, unrealized gains, you never sold in the first place. So the number you were seeing on the screen was just an imaginary number to begin with. And that's the way you guys have to look at it. You are not... There isn't an accurate representation of your monetary wealth until you actually sell it, until it's somewhat of a consistent, stable investment. And even then, guys, you know, everybody likes to look at ourselves as, oh, I have this much net worth, or oh, I'm worth this much. But the thing is our money is tied together in all of these different places. If all of your money is in crypto, you know, that's pretty risky, and you're going to lose all of your money at some point. It's important that we do ultimately take our money out of crypto and hedge it. Right now, I will say that 99% of my money is invested into crypto, and I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the volatility right now because where we're at in the cycle is still very undervalued. And it's crazy to say that because when we look at the grand scheme of things, you know, ETH at $1 trillion isn't very high from here. Most likely we see ETH valued at, you know, 2, potentially 3 to 5 trillion dollars. That seems really crazy to a lot of people, but if it's going to hit 20K price target, you know, it's got to go to some pretty crazy, you know, valuations. And overall, just the market in general, guys, this is just a big shakeout to prepare for overall the big parabolic rally that everybody's expecting to see. We've just flipped the all-time highs. We have not entered price discovery in the slightest. This has been a major FUD event set out by governments, mainstream news, corporations, institutional investors to shake out the weak hands before we ultimately go into new price discovery. They need to make more profit. The only way to make profit is to buy lower. How do you buy lower? Oh, let's scare everybody out of their positions to sell. Well, that's how they do it, guys. So don't keep worried about what's happening. Wanted to give you guys this quick update just as a way to really calm the emotions, emotions, calm the nerves. You know, a lot of people are freaking out. Me, on the other hand, I could not be more chill in the wake of things. During these times, I just don't even check my portfolio balance. I just don't even look at it. There's no reason to look at it because at the end of the day, I'm selling at the end of the year, so what my price balance is or what the valuation is throughout the meantime is going to change so much that honestly it's an obsolete number to me. It doesn't matter until I sell at the end of the year. At that point, I'm going to let you guys know what I'm worth or whatever. I probably won't, but either way, you guys know at that point whether I made it or whether I didn't. If we sell at the top, the cycle will be good. So I just wanted to give you guys these updates as a way to constantly, you know, continue to build that nerve as we venture closer in the cycle, because it's these times in the cycle that are going to shake out the weak hands. And if you guys are going to be worried about this, you're simply not going to make money long term. And we got to focus on that long term. If we worry too much about what's happening now, you're going to end up selling too early. And I can tell you guys, this is not the top of the cycle. This is somewhat of a summer sell-off. I don't think we should be worried. So anyways, guys, once again, if you guys ever do want to check out my groups, join the Discord server, download my free ebook for new guys getting into the markets. You guys want to join my private group, I have a video course, I have signals, and you guys can also sign up for my live training. Links are also provided for you in the description for literally all of that stuff. Check it out, guys. Come join the groups, come engage with the community, and I know you guys are going to be able to find a lot of value in doing so. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for the support of this channel. And with all that being said, I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.